Hey everyone, it's Carson here, and today I'm going to be doing something that's a bit out of the ordinary in terms of content that I post on my channel. This is the first voiceover I've ever done, and this voiceover video is going to be about the 87931 Mack Bulldog that I recently received off of eBay. We'll be talking a little bit about its design history that it had in its 30-year run, the changes it had within its run, and what changes from the end of its run were carried over to the newer version. So, in 1932, Mack Trucks was looking at a way that they could have a 3D bulldog on the front of their trucks. They had already had the International Motor Company logo with the bulldog tearing up the hauling costs book on the side, but one of the chief engineers, Alfred Massery, wanted something different. So in 1932, he came up with this design of the Mack Bulldog. He carved it when he was in his hospital bed out of soap and then later out of wood. In 1932, after his passing, this bulldog was adorned on all the hoods of the Mack trucks, and some of the early ones had his signature on the back leg. This is a reproduction from another company. The reason the eyes are drilled out are because this had light up eyes in it, but this is the closest thing I have to the original. This design was mostly adorned on the B models and then was later adorned on the R series in 1966. This is where most of them would be mounted onto the trucks, and the R series was the most popular truck that Mack had ever built. Now, this Bulldog ran from around 1960s, from around the 1930s to around the, I want to say maybe the late 80s, mid 90s area. And that's where this Bulldog comes in. This is a mid 80s, late 80s, possibly early 90s version of the Bulldog. As you can see, these two have several different design changes over the years. They've had several design changes, including the ears and mouth. And then this one over here, this is number 1,387,477. This is the most popular Bulldog that's on, or one of the most well-known on the trucks today. This one is still in production, and it still adorns the hood on Mack trucks to this day. This is the current design. This design is basically what happened to the end of the 87931 at the end of its run. So you can see clearly that these two have a lot of carried over features. They both have relatively the same foot design, as well as relatively the same body structure, but if you look, the heads are very different. The front of the face on the 1,387,477 is more slanted, while the 87931's is more straight. Also on the 87931, you'll notice the eyes sit up higher and the wrinkles are not visible. There are no wrinkles below its eyes. And the jowls, or the mouth, are a bit sharper than on the other Bulldog that they use today. This one also has a more rounded and curved forehead, whereas this one has more of a flat forehead. The ears also stick up a little bit higher and are closer to the back of the head, whereas this one has the ears that are closer to the front of the head and stick up a little bit less than on this one. Now, I do have a question for if there are any Mack enthusiasts watching this video. I'm not entirely sure what this specific design of Bulldog, I'm not sure entirely what truck this would go on. Because if you look, it does have an R under its chest. I'm assuming this stands for R series, but I could be entirely wrong on that. Now, the reason I say R series is because if you look at the base, this is a reproduction base. This base is curved so it matches an R series, but then this base that's flat for the paperweight has an R stamped on the bottom of it. So I'm assuming this was for the Superliner design, because I have a model here. The base on this Bulldog, if you can make it out, I'm sorry the camera's not that good, is flat, so it might have been a superliner base for the superliner bulldog. I'm not entirely sure, but if maybe someone could drop a comment below and let me know, that would be great. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I bored you for about 5 minutes, but thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Stay safe, keep on trucking, and like I said, if you do know, please comment. Thanks again.